quorum present. So we'll start this Elections Committee meeting. I believe everybody has an agenda, and we're going to go in order with the agenda. We're going to start off with Senate Bill 2128, and I'll ask Senator Seymour to please explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It had been brought to my attention by several of my friends that work with the not the Attorney General, but district attorneys, and the question had been come up through the past that why there was not prosecution for people that have violated the voter fraud. And what had been relayed back to me was that it's a misdemeanor, and that for the most part they just didn't want to touch it. So I brought forth 2315-753 to put it kind of in line with the statute 97-13-9 that goes along with the felony for managers and clerks, to where it's a up to a 5-year sentence and a $5,000 fine. So I basically, on line 22, inserted that it would be a felony crime, and the minimum amount of $1,000, and I put this word in there as "and shall be sentenced," and I heard some of the discussion earlier. Y'all might want to change that, but definitely to bring it up to standard to where when somebody does this as far as with absentee ballots, that it bring forth enough of a penalty to go against it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Okay, no questions. Do we have a motion on the bill? On okay, title sufficient to pass. Do we have any questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The noes appear to have it. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate you. Okay, moving on now. On pace with our agenda, we're going to go to Senate Bill 2589, and I'm going to ask Senator Blunt, if he would please, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am just now reading this, but I have talked to the chairman, and I've talked to my county party chair about it, and I think it's a good first step to make some changes that we need to make with our municipal executive committees. As you know, our county executive committees, I think this is true for both parties, I'm pretty sure about this, are chosen through the precinct and county caucus process in presidential election years, and they run elections essentially 3 years out of 4 at the county level, and are meeting all the time to run those elections. Municipal executive committees only run the primary in the municipal election year, which means they just work 1 year out of 4. And when this first came to my attention was this morning when we talked about it, and we talked about the difference in how municipal executive committees are chosen. Again, the county committees are chosen through the precinct process in the presidential year. Municipal executive committees are elected on the ballot in a municipal primary. I serve on the Municipal Democratic Executive Committee in my city, which means last May, I guess it was, in 2017, that we had 6 or 7 names on the ballot. Everybody gets elected. They're not competitive. We don't do anything for 3.5 years. We qualify the candidates, which we will do sometime next week. The municipal qualifying deadline is Friday. Certify the results, but we really we have the right under state law to assign the actual mechanics of operating the election to either the Municipal Election Commission or the County Executive Committee, which we do because we don't meet on a regular basis. So the intent of the bill, as I understand it, is to let county executive committees, where they want to, appoint municipal executive committees to run the municipal primaries every 4 years. I don't have any problem with that. I think it's a good idea. The one thing that I will raise, and I think that this is still, as I said, a work in progress, as I was reading it again just a few minutes ago, beginning on line 39, it says that municipal executive committees shall be appointed by respective county executive committees. I think what we don't want to do is make a lot of our smaller municipalities, and I have a municipality with less than 2,000 people. There are municipalities in my county with a couple of hundred people. Most of these people just have most of these towns just have a general election, that's it. They don't need to go through the process of having a primary runoff, a general. It's just much more work. So I think we can fix that as the bill works its way through the process. But the gist of it is that we're going to change for the cities that want to have party primaries, those party primaries will be conducted by groups appointed by their county party executive committee. And the size of that municipal committee will be staggered based on the size of the municipality. So that's my understanding of what the bill would do. I think we ought to, and one more thing. It says that if you've been convicted of a felony, you can't serve on a municipal executive committee, which I certainly don't have any problem with because you can't be a registered voter if you're a convicted felon. I think my recommendation to the committee would be that we move this bill along, and there are, as I said, there's some things we need to think about, talk about, but the basic gist of it I think is a good idea, and I'll be happy to try to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay, do we have a motion?
Title sufficient to pass on Senate Bill 2589.
Okay, any questions? Any further questions? All right, we have a motion. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Okay, we're now going to move along to Senate Bill 2590, and I've asked our good friends with the Secretary of State, Colton Robinson, if he will, to help explain this bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. On Senate Bill 2590, this is dealing with the political party formation in our state. Currently under state law, to create a political party, you need an executive director and a secretary. The problem is, to establish an executive director and a secretary, you must first have a political party. So this bill simply allows for an interim executive director and secretary to form the political party, and then they will follow all rules and regulations set forth after that by statute. Are there any questions on that?
All right, see no questions. Do we have a motion? Motion's title sufficient to pass. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Before you leave, we're going to go to Senate Bill 2592. And again, I'll ask for Mr. Robinson to help explain the bill.
So this next bill is our statutory absentee application bill. And this bill simply codifies some changes that were made in House Bill 1521. Simply adds the excuse for certified emergency responders to our absentee application, which is already provided for by state law. And also, if you're voting by mail, you may request a runoff ballot on your first application. So simply just kind of lines that language up with what you guys passed in House Bill 1521, as well as some grammatical changes that were made just to kind of clean up the way it reads. Be happy to take any other questions.
Any questions? Yes, sir, Senator Blunt.
I have an amendment.
Go ahead.
Beginning on line 70. If you remember, this is the COVID language that we passed last year. It repealed on December 31st. My amendment would be to we have municipal elections coming up in just a couple of months. My amendment would be to let any Mississippian who has concerns about COVID avail themselves of this process, and for the subsection this provision to repeal December 31st, 2021. So for elections held this calendar year, the municipal elections are in just a couple of months. If you're concerned about COVID, you can use this process, and then it repeals at the end of the year.
Okay, are there any questions on the amendment? Okay, we're going to vote to the amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Now we're back on the bill. So do we have any other questions, any other comments? All right, here for a motion.
Title sufficient, do pass, committee sub.
Title sufficient, do pass, committee subs the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, well, that's going to do it for us today, so I will entertain a motion to rise and report.
Rise and report.
Rise and report. All in favor say aye. Ayes have it. Good.